Hey, now it's the Rob from 106.1 KISS FM here with my tag team partner in podcasting.
Hey guys, it's me, Steve, web contributor to 1061evansville.com.
Welcome to this edition of Post to Post, and I'm very excited about it because for the first time, Steve and I get to officially lay down our pay-per-view predictions. This time the show is Hell in a Cell. And I would say I have a moderate interest in this show. I'm kind of excited. There's been better shows this year, but there's probably been worse too. At least going into it, you know. How are you excited for the show?
Hell in a Cell's one of my favorite matches, so that always adds an air of excitement to me. So whoever's in there, I'm always excited for the match and the possibilities.
I'm trying to think. I don't agree with that 100%. Like, I would say it adds a little bit to me, but it's not something I'm like, oh, I must see this Hell in a Cell. Personally, you know, they've been hit or miss over time. So we're going to share our predictions with you, and unless you have anything else you wanted to get started with, any news or anything like that.
Before we do, this being Post to Post, a new show, I'm issued a challenge to Rob. He's a good friend of mine. I'd take a punch for him, but this is friendly competition. So this is the Too Cool Championship mug.
All right.
After we make our predictions. Monday, I believe, when we film, one of us will get to take a sip from the championship mug.
Oh, my goodness. So it's kind of like a trophy of sorts, whoever has better predictions?
Yeah, we'll make it a little traveling trophy.
All right, sounds good to me.
All right.
All right, so here's what's going to happen. We'll say the match, and Steve, just let me know what you think's going to happen.
Okay.
My understanding is the pre-show match is going to be a six-man tag featuring Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, and Neville against Barrett, Rusev, and Sheamus.
Yeah.
Thoughts here?
I see this just being a good guy win, probably a show of finishers.
But you actually nailed exactly what I thought. They're going to win because they're the good guys.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel about that.
Yeah.
You know, I got to tell you, I'm not a fan of the pre-show on the network. And my reasoning is everyone watching the pre-show on the network has the network.
Yes.
You're not selling the pay-per-view anymore. Back in the day, you did use it to sell the pay-per-view. I almost think just make the show a little longer. Not that that's necessary either, but I'm not even sure we need a pre-show, personally, in my own opinion. So you can agree or disagree with that. You can leave us comments. Do you agree, disagree, your thoughts on that?
I think it depends on who's on their panel. When they have the yes men on the panel, I'm not too, but when they have somebody that wants to mix it up a little bit, like maybe Paul Heyman,
okay, you make a
along
point.
that lines, I enjoy watching it then. I know they're trying to sell the pay-per-view, which we're already getting ready to watch, and I agree with you there. But sometimes, I'd say 50-50, I find it worthwhile.
And you know, you just gave me an idea for a topic. I want to critique all the talking heads on the network because some are good, like Paul Heyman, and some are awful, like Byron Saxton.
Exactly.
And we should talk about that sometime.
Okay.
All right, first match that I've got written down here is for the Intercontinental Championship. Ryback and Kevin Owens.
All right.
I don't see a title changing hands in this match.
I don't either.
So I think that Owens will retain.
Yeah, I think Owens is their guy right now to bring the legitimacy to that title.
Yeah, and the interest is there. I think the interest is there more with Owens than it was with Ryback,
Yes.
so he's a good choice. And that's a good spot for him. He's not supposed to be the world champion right now. He's very young in his career, but he shows a lot of potential.
Yes.
It's a good spot for Owens. I see him retaining the Intercontinental title.
Okay.
The tag team title, the Dudley Boys and the New Day.
Your good friends, the New Day.
Our good friends, the New Day. Steve, what do you think?
I'm going with the title change.
Really?
Yep, I think it's about time. I don't think the feud's anywhere from over, but I think the Dudleys get their win and they get their hands on that title.
I don't see that happening this time. I think maybe eventually, but I just don't think the time is right yet. I think New Day is still just way too hot.
All right.
And they're doing a great job. I'm not sure I have any titles changing hands personally, but let's keep going here.
Okay.
The Divas title. Again, I don't see the title changing hands.
I thought they were going to add more to this. I thought Paige, maybe Sasha Banks, and then maybe it. But with it just being the singles match, Nikki's not getting it back.
Yeah, by the way, it's Nikki versus Charlotte. I didn't mention that.
Yes.
I agree. I think that Charlotte will retain. I really hope that they find some elements to make this angle more interesting because this Divas Revolution, this hashtag Divas Revolution, is becoming hashtag stale to me. And I need that to change.
Yep.
What else do we have? World Heavyweight title match. Demon Kane taking on Seth Rollins.
Kind of touched on this the other day. I'm going to go with Kane.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised to hear that. I don't see what I feel is one of the best title runs of the modern era ending this Sunday at the hands of Kane.
Yeah.
The stipulation on this match is that if Kane loses, Corporate Kane is no longer in power. I don't think that they need Corporate Kane in power. I think they kind of reinserted him into power to get this angle over, and I think that Kane losing is a convenient out for them to get him out. So I will disagree with you and say that the title will not change hands. And I'm kind of surprised, we were talking about this earlier too, that this is not a Hell in a Cell match. It seems like it kind of should be, especially with Kane. But then again, that'd give us 3. I kind of thought it'd be Brock and Taker and Rollins and Kane before it'd be Reigns and Wyatt.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that here in a second. Actually, let's talk about Reigns and Wyatt. They're going to be in the cell. This one, I'm curious as to your take. Who do you think wins?
Okay, I've got a wild prediction here, and I haven't read this anywhere. And I also want to see if you have a wild prediction, not just for this match, but for the event maybe. Hafthor Bjornsson. Are you familiar with that name?
Say it again.
Hafthor Bjornsson.
All right, now say it again the right way with the
forwards. That's his Icelandic name.
Okay.
World Strongmen will know him as the world's strongest man. Game of Thrones fans will know him as the Mountain.
Okay, now I'm with you.
Back in May, he showed a strong inkling to want to join professional wrestling.
I believe he was even in attendance at some shows. I want to say NXT.
He's had pictures taken with Stephanie McMahon at NXT, and even now Dustin Reynolds at the Performance Center. And just a coincidence, again, I have not read this anywhere, and it's outlandish, but I wanted to throw it in here. They were referring to Wyatt's family as the Mountains. Do you remember that Monday night?
No, I don't specifically remember that. That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah, they said Reigns walking through or taking on the Mountains. Again, maybe just a series of coincidences, but I see Bray Wyatt going over and maybe a new mountain of a man interfering.
I am all supportive of the Wyatt family growing.
Yes.
I don't mind that being a big family. When it comes to referencing the Mountains, I would say that would, in my opinion, not necessarily indicate he's coming, because rest assured they can't call him the Mountain if he's here on WWE for copyright reasons. But okay, Steve, that's I've heard that he's been interested in wrestling. That is pretty outlandish. My outlandish thought of the night isn't as outlandish as yours, but it will come in the Cena match.
Okay.
We're talking about Bray and Roman. So do you think that Bray is going to win?
I do. That's the one downside to my idea, is that this feud won't be over, but I see Bray winning this.
I'm actually okay with the feud continuing, to be honest with you, because I don't really want Roman Reigns anywhere else, and I think that Bray's bringing a lot out of him, and vice versa. I think that if you think about who they are as characters, they're good foils. You know, Roman is handsome and emotionless.
Yes.
And Bray is he acts on emotion, and he's animated, and he's not in the same kind of shape as Roman Reigns is. They're good foils for one another.
Yes, they are.
And I've been kind of enjoying this feud for what it's worth. I like that Roman Reigns isn't in the main event picture. It's a good spot for both of them.
Yeah.
I see Roman's winning, though.
Okay.
Potentially winning to go on to a feud with Rollins, which could ultimately end up in a title change. But I think that if they take Roman Reigns out of the Bray Wyatt feud, I think he's going to go into one with Rollins for the next several shows.
Yeah.
So that's the way I feel about that. We disagree there too.
Yes.
Cena, the question of whether or not he's going to win is less important than who's he going to face.
Yes.
And I guess for me, you asked me to come up with an outlandish prediction, so to speak.
Okay.
And while it's not super outlandish, the only thing I could think of was Sami Zayn returning to, because I hear he's better now. I think he was even at an Evolve show, if I'm not mistaken, recently. And when he got hurt in that opening match with Cena, his very first match of his main roster career was against Cena.
Yeah.
And they have unfinished business. He'd be a great guy to answer that call, I think.
Will he win if he answers the call?
Yes.
Okay.
And I see Cena losing whoever he's facing on Sunday. He's got time off. I hear is my understanding to film a TV show for Fox, and I think he's going to lose. What do you think?
I agree with you that he's losing. I think the one that steps up is the one they've been teasing for the short time, Dolph Ziggler.
That would be cool. You do know Dolph is wrestling earlier in the evening.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that may even play into it.
So this is going to be a fun show because we have a few disagreements.
Yes.
I have a hard time figuring out the Hell in the Cell.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think
Brock Lesnar and Undertaker. What do you think?
Brocktober's in full effect. He beat the Big Show. He did the podcast. One more thing is to bury the Undertaker, for lack of better words.
I don't know what I think yet because I made my prediction in my head, and I'm looking at the paper, and I have a hard time rooting against Brock.
Yeah.
But here's the way I feel.
Okay.
I feel that. So you say Brock wins.
Yes.
I feel that Brock owes Undertaker for WrestleMania 30 still.
Okay.
SummerSlam was not the repayment.
Okay.
And I feel like one of the very few people on the roster that Brock is okay doing the job for is Taker.
Yes.
So I feel like this is the perfect storm for a rare Brock loss, and I'm going to stick with it. I'm taking Taker.
All right.
So those are our predictions. I like that they're wildly different this time. And we will reconvene on Monday and talk about everything that happened on the show this weekend. I hope you have a great time. And, of course, one of us will sip from the very important mug.
Yes.
Steve, thank you for coming, and we will see you Monday on Post to Post. So for myself, the Rob, and for my tag team partner, Steve.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.